everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Torie. I'm glad you're here. If you think about it, like and subscribe. I would love to see you around more often. So I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video because I'm just gonna start talking about it. One thing that a lot of us grow up with and have almost naturally, I don't know like how natural it is, but I think there's probably a lot of just basic human condition stuff in it. Shying away from sick people, shying away from the doctor, shying away from people who might be in a wheelchair. One thing that parents do, it's like, oh, don't stare because it's rude, but that also might be like, don't look at it either. One thing that I started doing with my kid very early on that I hope kind of normalizes illness and people who need a lot of support and attention. I don't hide my illness from him, and that includes taking medications and also taking him to doctor's appointments. Obviously, I'm not going to take him to like a gynecological checkup or anything like that, but just normal doctor's appointments where I talk about what's going on, maybe with my rheumatologist. I bring him to. I want him to see that. I want him to normalize that. I really want him to be able to think of, chronic illnesses and diseases and stuff like that almost as like a hair color. Like certain people have them, certain people don't. There's really no correlation to any kind of like personality, anything. It's just the luck of the draw. And, while nobody wants chronic illness for themselves or the people they love or anything like that, it is a problem with people learning that you have a chronic illness or, a sickness and stuff like that and kind of pulling away. Like not really knowing how to react to that, not really knowing how to talk to you now and stuff like that. And being on the receiving end of that occasionally, honestly, like I don't really notice when people are like that just because it's not really my personality to take things super personally. So I'm just kind of like, oh, they're probably having a bad day. And then I don't really worry about it again. But they are like, it is noticeable things that I have noticed where people who may have known me before suddenly don't really talk to me anymore, or they are uncomfortable talking about the lupus, or they might bring it up and they might like not bring it up, like pretend that it's not even there and stuff like that. And I've been in remission for a while now, so it's not really at the forefront of my brain to talk about, but I can tell when it's at the forefront of their brain when they're talking to me. Like wondering if I should be eating what I'm eating because I got off of the lupus diet a while ago. Or maybe, asking me if it's okay if, we go take a walk outside just because, sun or maybe the storm's coming, like maybe the pressure change might be too much and stuff like that. And so it's like, I really want my son to be able to see chronic illness as just a part of life, something that you take care of like you would any other form of self-care, but not something that is just so out of left field it's scary. Because I feel like that, it's almost like funerals. Like a lot of times parents try to protect their kids from death, and so they just never go to funerals. And then the kid is like 18 or something going to the first funeral that they've ever been to in their life, and this time it's a family member and stuff like that. And it's this really big traumatic thing instead of kids like growing up going to funerals. So it's just things like that are definitely a part of life that I want my kid to be able to see and understand and normalize. First time I took him to a blood draw with me, he was just kind of sitting on my lap, like hanging out. He had my phone, and the doctor came over and he took blood out of my arm. And Leo looked down and then looked back up at me and he goes, "You're okay. It's okay, you're okay." Like that. And it almost made me cry. I was like, "Oh, you're so sweet." And then they put a band-aid on it and he just saw that whole thing. A little while later, Leo had to get his own blood draw. We were testing him for some different things and he had to go and get a blood draw. I talked to him about it and everything, and he handled it like a champ. Like even the nurses were commenting on how brave he was, and he didn't cry when the needle went in and he was just kind of looking at it. He did cry when they didn't take it out right away. Like that was a little bit scary for him. Then he got the bandage and he was just, high-fiving everybody on the way out and doing amazing. And now like whenever we go to the doctor, he is so excited about it. He's just like, oh, you know, we're going to the doctor, and he's like, you know, the doctor's like showing him the stethoscope and stuff like that as they put it like on my chest and on my back, and Leo's like talking like he knows exactly what's going on and everything. And so I want to start a new trend where I'm not protecting my kid, something that he might run into later in life and he might really need. Like, now that our diagnostics are so much better for things that used to, you know, just be like malaise or phantom pain or whatever, like now we actually have labels for them, like fibromyalgia or lupus or stuff like that. And so I really think that's going to be a useful tool for him growing up, to be able to be familiar with what it's like for somebody to have a chronic illness and everything that goes into it behind the scenes. Even though the person looks normal and might act normal and everything like that, actually seeing what it looks like up close and personal. Anyway, I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts on it, and I will talk to you later.